Hey everybody, today's video is about from October 5th to October 11th is Mental Illness Awareness Week. I'm looking down because I have kind of notes so I can remember things that I wanted to speak about. You know, it said on the one of the little posts I seen that 1 in 4 people live with a mental illness. When you have, I have a mental illness. I have anxiety and panic. I have a phobia called agoraphobia, and because of those things I get depressed sometimes. And so, when I first got anxiety and depression and stuff, I didn't really understand it. It was scary to me, and a lot of the time I didn't want to talk about it because I was scared if I talked about it that something would happen. I know that sounds funny, but that's how I felt. And 2, I didn't want people to think I was crazy or weird or whatever. And but that's what this week is about. It's about awareness to stop stigmas. People that have mental illness are not crazy. There is something chemically wrong or something like that. It's a physical problem, or emotional sometimes that's going on inside. And but anyways, for people who do have anxiety or depression or PTSD or any of those, there are support groups on Facebook. There's a lot of different kinds for very specific illnesses. Mine is, I have a group, and mine is for anxiety, depression, really anything, but and agoraphobia, because that's what I have, so I can relate to those things. But I will put that link below. Support groups are important because you can talk to people that have similar things, are going through similar things that you are. And it comforts you to know that somebody understands you. So if you haven't joined a support group, I would definitely recommend it. You don't have to join mine. You can. I would love if you did. But it's just a place where you can be free, and not be scared to talk about it, because they understand and they're not going to judge you for it. But coming out and talking about what you're going through is hard a lot of times, but holding it in is worse, because that's what keeps you captive. For me, speaking about anxiety and depression and stuff, and agoraphobia and stuff like that, I still have it. I still struggle, but it did set me free in a lot of ways. It set me free where I can express myself. If I feel a certain way, I can say I'm feeling anxious right now, and so somebody can be there for me, because a lot of the time you suffer alone and you don't have to. You could have a support group, whether it be on Facebook or not. If you spoke to your family, your parents, your boyfriend, your wife, your husband, you could have somebody there to comfort you and tell you it's going to be okay. There's a lot of the time people people that are ignorant or, don't really understand what we're going through might think that we can't live normal lives. And sometimes we feel ourselves like we can't live a normal life, but it is possible. Medication can help you to cope. Going to a therapist and speaking to that person, or speaking, it doesn't even necessarily have to be a therapist, somebody you can trust that you can speak to. But a therapist is trained and is educated on your specific needs and can give you the tools you need to not only cope, but to work through the issues that you may have. And a lot of the time, like, people think you can't be a good mother, you can't be a good father. But that's not true, So because people that don't have a mental illness, just because they can't understand you and put these things out there and say, oh, you can't do this, don't take that inside, because it's not true. I have these problems, but I'm still a good mother. Everybody, just because you have a mental illness and sometimes you can't do things, like for me, I can't, well, I'm limited to some things that I can do. Like, I can go up to my daughter's school and I pick her up every day. I can go inside and watch her dance and stuff like that. But if I were to go by myself, I have pushed myself to do that, but it's very hard for me. And like something, while I was growing up, I always wanted, people aspire to be like a actress, a lawyer, whatever. But I always wanted to be a mother. I wanted to be a soccer mom, and I wanted to be the mom that was at, your child's school, helping in the classroom and being like this huge part of my child's life and their education and stuff like that. And because of this, it does put limitations on me. But like when my daughter first started going to school, I couldn't even, go inside. But I kept pushing myself. I would go up to the school. Then I would go inside only by the front door. Then I would walk a little further and a little further. And then slowly but surely, I could go further and further inside the school. And then I could stay in there for an amount of time. And, you get more comfortable. Just because you can't do something right away doesn't mean that you're not a good parent. You work on those things and you push yourself past your anxiety, past the panic, past your depression or whatever, and you can do it. And what parent doesn't struggle with things? Every parent in the whole world struggles with things. So it doesn't make you any different than other parents. Our problems are just different from theirs, So everybody has something that they go through, and another thing, a lot of people, dang, I lost my train of thought. Oh, sorry. Like I said earlier too, about not talking about it, is like, oh, be quiet. But like I said earlier, holding it inside keeps you captive. That saying that says, you're as sick as the secrets you keep. And it's true. I mean, I don't mean you have to shout it at rooftop to everybody, but just to talk about it and not hold all that inside and try to cope with it completely by yourself. I mean, you can, but it's easier, it's better when you can share that with somebody and have somebody to support you and encourage you that you can, get past this. There was something else that I wanted to talk about. Oh, sorry, I can't think. I lost my train of thought. There was another thing that I wanted to talk about, but I I didn't write it down. But just know, anyways, that you're not alone. And I have another video also that I told my story in, and I will put that link below also. And I would really love to hear you guys' stories, if you would be willing to share. It doesn't necessarily have to be on YouTube. You know, as I said before, I have an anxiety group on Facebook, and you know, it would be nice to, like, you know, if you felt comfortable to tell me your story. And even if you didn't want to put it in the group for the group to see, you could always private message me and on YouTube and tell me your story also. But that's all I can think of right now. But I hope this helps somebody, and like I said, you're not alone. So, y'all have a nice day. Bye-bye.